Welcome back to the eBay shop. My name's Corey.
I'm Teresa.
And we are Grams and Pops Vintage. And today we're going to talk about shipping, eBay shipping.
We did just talk about shipping.
We
just showed how to ship.
We're going to talk about the eBay side, the software side, the method to ship, how we charge and pay for shipping. Now, there's a lot of opinions about how you should and should not ship on eBay. And there's several methods to ship on eBay. Were you going to say something?
Mm-hmm. There are several methods that you can use on eBay. However, these are what we use.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong. We're not going to plant our flag and say this is the way you need to do it. But we have kind of played around with 5 different ways that you can ship using the eBay platform and kind of made some assumptions about how, or not assumptions, we made some observations about how.
Don't say assumptions because that makes an ass out of you and me.
Mostly you.
No.
But yeah, we're going to go through a few of them and kind of share with you some of the observations about how we can use them best or how we did use them best and when we use them, and show you or talk to you a little bit about what we're actually doing now after a year and a half of playing around on eBay as a full-time reseller. But as usual, we have some things that actually do need to get shipped and out of here today. So we're going to pull some orders and show you what's sold over the weekend as well. And we're going to jump into that first. So what is the first thing that sold?
So one of the first things that sold is I have been listing a whole lot of clothes out of our storage unit. A lot of them are high-end clothes, but we sold a vintage, it's called Starbus Polo Golf 100th US Open from 2000 Pebble Beach jacket.
So that's it there. There's not going to be much to see on these clothes because we bag them up. Mm-hmm. And we probably won't ship in these bags because these are our expensive Ziploc bags, but we'll swap them out and put them in a different bag before we throw them in a poly. And we'll put a picture of this up. But yeah, it's a nice golf jacket. Most of the clothes, shoes, things like that in that one storage unit we got were pretty high-end stuff as far as, like they're a lot nicer stuff than we would buy, I guess.
I would not pay that for it. So.
We're Walmart clothes shoppers. We're not fashion people.
I'm a garage sale clothes shopper.
Very much so. So these ones actually sold, or this jacket sold for how much?
$50 plus shipping.
That's a lot for a little
jacket. It's just like a windbreaker type jacket. So.
All right, what else we got?
Another item that I just listed yesterday, and they weren't worth a lot individually, so I just lotted them all up because they're the same brand. But we sold a lot of 4 Robert Barraquette t-shirts.
Okay, so we've got 3 or 4 different colored shirts in here.
Yep.
Various sizes apparently, and somebody did come along and buy it, and they bought those shirts for how much?
$24 plus shipping.
All right, the first shipping method and the one we started with and we still used all the way up until recently, actually, we use this primarily, or we use this on most items, and that's calculated shipping. And the reason we used it is just because it's kind of a mistake-free, it's the most forgiving. Mm-hmm. eBay actually calculates the shipping based on the package dimensions, the weight that you put in. So you still have to be accurate there. That's important. I think that's a good thing to address now. That's important on every one of these. When you're listing these items, make sure you're accurate on your weights and sizes.
Fairly close.
Yep, get as close as you can because a little bit of difference can make a big difference in the cost. So be as accurate as you can when you're listing your items. But if you're accurate, calculated shipping is almost always, I don't think it's ever not, it's almost always going to overestimate the shipping to your advantage.
Yep, you will always make a little bit of money off of it, unless, like he said previously, that you did not do your proper due diligence and package dimensions and weights are right.
So it's kind of a set it and forget it thing. You put your weights and sizes in and you just let it roll. And it's going to pay for your shipping. Basically, it's going to have your customer pay for your shipping, the cost of the shipping, plus a little extra to carry the cost of your boxes and your packing.
Yep.
And you will still probably make a little profit on the shipping. I would say the only downside to this, which we've kind of found out over the past year or so, is it does make your shipping expensive in the further away places.
We have the joys of that, though, is we are centrally located, so we don't typically have a whole lot of issues. There's not a whole lot of swing because we're in the central United States, so hitting both coasts or all 4 corners is usually not that bad.
Yeah, we're lucky. Now, if we lived in Maine, calculated shipping getting to California or Texas would be, you could imagine, would be quite expensive. And someone shopping on eBay from California, for example, would probably not buy our products because the calculated shipping would make that prohibitive pretty quickly. So that's kind of the plus and minus of the calculated shipping. It'll almost always make you a profit on the shipping, even after expenses. It just does get expensive for customers if you happen to be located left or right of the country instead of closer to the center like we are.
Yep, and it's the easiest one for any beginner to use.
Yep, it is the most forgiving by far.
Yes.
So
that's what we started with.
And we still use that up until just recently. So I mean, it's pretty heavily used, and that's one I would recommend anybody just starting eBay probably start with. And yes, it does make it a little more expensive for your customers sometimes, but we made plenty of sales.
Yep.
It's not like you're not going to make sales because of it. So as long as you keep your packages accurate, sizes and weights, you could still do quite well with it. There's just going to be certain parts of the country you don't sell to a lot.
Correct.
All right, let's look at what's sold next.
We sold a box of football cards. 1988 Topps football cards in cello packs.
All right, if you've been watching the channel very long, you've seen these several times. We got a whole pack of 1988 NFL cards. That whole thing will go out. Did we take an offer on that?
No, that one they paid full price.
Okay, so full price, that would have sold for $150 plus shipping.
Yep, those are easy to box up too. Okay, the next item is the last in our series that we bought. We paid $50 for all 5 of them, I think. We sold an Ensco Disney Best of Mickey limited edition figurine set with the collector base.
Okay, so it's this big one. So for Ensco, this is a big piece. We're used to dealing with the little figurines. But we did buy a whole Mickey set, like she was saying, and we sold them all except this one.
Yep.
What are you chuckling at?
Because the price tag on the bottom is $189.99, and I'll tell you in a minute what it sold for.
Right. What did that sell for?
$190.
We got a penny more than they did retail.
Yep.
Excellent.
I am glad that is gone. However, the person did put please wait and ship after Christmas, but that's not going to happen because we have 1-day shipping, so it will go out.
Yeah, it's going to have to go out today, and it'll go ground advantage, so it's as slow as we can make it go. I guess that is what it is. You can't order something and then leave. All right, so that brings us to the next shipping, which is what?
So flat rate. So those are the ones that you can pick a price for, most people will do it for a certain item or weight, box dimension. We use it primarily for 2 things that we ship. We use it for our golf clubs. So we do those at a flat $9.95 UPS rate. Goes out. We have not lost a whole lot of money on that. Again, it's probably because we live central, so we have the joys of that. The other one that we use it on is blow molds. Only we didn't do so hot on one. Watch a previous video, you'll see what we're talking about.
Yeah, the law of averages caught us on one of them just because the box was so massive. And we would have lost quite a bit of money. But for the most part, you win some, you lose some when you're doing flat rate. You want to kind of pad it in your favor so you win more than you lose. And that's kind of the idea, is you could control the shipping, what the shipping costs to your customer.
Yep.
So, for example, again, if you're in Maine and you have to ship to California, rather than showing the really inflated calculated rate, you would show a flat rate of, say, $10 to ship a golf club out there. Now, it's probably going to cost you $12 to ship it, but by giving up that extra $2 and using the flat rate, you made a sale versus you probably wouldn't have made one if it had shown under calculated, which probably would have showed closer to $15 or $16.
The one of the drawbacks of using this is that if you use it and there are rate changes, so like the USPS just upped their prices, you will have to go back in and account for those. Otherwise, you will eat more than you originally had.
Yeah, this is one of 2 of our shipping methods we're going to talk about today that are very susceptible to rate changes. Anytime a rate changes, UPS, USPS, whatever is encompassed in your flat rate shipping is going to be drastically affected sometimes if prices change. And prices change every year, at least once a year. sometimes 2 to 3 times a year, depending on USPS or UPS. So you have to really stay on top of this one.
Yep.
You can't just set this one and forget it. You have to constantly be watching for rate changes and stay on top of it and adjust your rates. Now, to set your rates up,
Yep.
you would have to use something like the eBay shipping calculator, which maybe I'll throw a link to it below. You could actually put in the weight and the dimensions and ship from and ship to zip codes into the eBay shipping calculator, and it will give you not only the commercial rates, what you would pay at the post office, it would also give you your discounted rates, what you will get charged from eBay to ship that package. And to set up your flat rates, you would probably want to do something like the 4 furthest places from you in the US. I would exclude Alaska and Hawaii because those are exceptions. And then get an average of what those shippings are going to cost and figure out where you'd be safe to set your flat rate.
We did that with our previous business too, with some of the stuff that we shipped free. We
Yeah.
did the same thing. I went in and calculated the, Oregon, Washington, Maine,
Southern California.
and Southern Florida to get, I think I threw Texas in there too, just because then you get the 5 farthest locations from you. At least for us being in the Midwest,
Yep.
we did that. So
Yeah, you will need some knowledge. And the reason we didn't use flat rate to begin with is because, one, we didn't know about the shipping calculator immediately in the beginning. And we weren't familiar with the type of things we ship and the types of shipping we used. Like, we didn't have enough knowledge to be making guesses on flat rate. If you happen to be a niche seller, say you sell all shoes or all clothes, flat rate becomes way more important to you because you know pretty precisely what your weights and sizes are going to be, the shapes of your boxes. You ship pretty much the same stuff over and over with some variants. So flat rate becomes very easy. For everything sellers like us, it's much more difficult. As you can tell, we ship that giant Mickey thing, and then we'll ship a Littlest Pet Shop. We're all over the place in terms of size. So flat rate, while we have used it a little bit, and it does work on some things, we're careful about when we use that, especially because you really have to stay on top of shipping changes with prices. So that's kind of the flat rate scenario. All right, what's sold next?
I only listed this thing and it sold the very next day. We sold a 2001 Hanna-Barbera Scooby-Doo Magic Carpet Dreaming Hamburger Ornament.
So there's Scooby, and he is kind of a cool little ornament. It's like plastic, like blow mold material almost. I got my fat fingers on him.
He had, a lot of these ornaments had names written on them, and so I did take stuff and wipe the names off because they came out of our storage unit.
Like alcohol?
Yes.
It's stuff.
Alcohol, fingernail polish remover.
Nuclear waste.
Yes. But that one sold for $9 plus shipping.
Oh, I see. That's like a dream bubble. He's dreaming of
A cheeseburger.
Is it a giant cheeseburger? Yeah. Like shaped like a Christmas tree?
Yes. The next thing we sold was also something that I just listed on Saturday and it sold on Sunday, was a Pink Floyd The Wall DVD 1999 special edition, and it has a poster in it.
There you go. There's that one. That's kind of a cool one. I wish we had known we picked that up. I probably would have watched that before I let you sell it. That one's kind of cool. That sold for how much?
$9.99, free shipping.
There you go.
That is a perfect segue
To free shipping.
to free shipping. So I use more free shipping than Corey does. Primarily with a lot of our jewelry, 95% of our jewelry goes free shipping. 90% of our DVDs go free shipping. What else do I send free shipping? Oh, some of our action figures we do free shipping on.
Free shipping is kind of a double-edged sword. It can be very effective at increasing your sales even, or at least that's the theory here. Well, there's two sides to that theory too. Free shipping is kind of become the industry standard.
Because of Amazon.
Words are tough. Yep, because of Amazon, they've kind of spoiled customers, and customers kind of expect free shipping. People are willing to pay $20 with free shipping before they pay $14 with $6 shipping. There's just something about that that work psychologically, and customers expect the free shipping. Now, on the other side of that, it's been said, and I don't know if this is true because I don't have any data to back it up, and I'm not sure anyone else does either, but I'd be interested to see it if they do. There's a lot of people that say free shipping. If you market free shipping, eBay gives it better placement. They show your stuff more.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's true. I do know when you mark something free shipping on eBay, you get the red bold letters that say free shipping on the listing. And that does make your listing stand out more when it is seen.
But if you list it at free shipping and somebody wants to return it, then you have issues. Well, you kind of have issues. You do and you don't.
Kind of, yeah, that is one drawback. If, for example, you had something returned that they smashed up or broke, one of your protections as a top-rated seller is to be able to what?
Deduct shipping.
Yeah. So when you go to do a refund, you don't necessarily have to refund their shipping if they've done something wrong. Usually we would, in most cases. There's very few when we wouldn't. For clothing, we're starting not to take free returns, and it's just because so many people buy it to try it.
Yep.
Or buy it to wear it on a date and send it back. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, so we switched from doing free returns on clothing to doing buyer pays returns on clothing, clothing.
Yeah. So free shipping kind of takes that protection away from you, that recourse away from you if you had an issue with a customer. And it's also when you set up your free shipping, the way it's set up most times is you figure out what the cost of the product is, where you're going to price it on eBay as far as price range. And then you add what shipping would be to that and add it into the price. So you're selling at a higher price, but with free shipping to cover the shipping still for you. Now, just like our flat rate shipping, you're susceptible to rate changes.
Yep. You are also I guess for me, the one benefit of free shipping is you give them a shipping method, but if you find a cheaper shipping method, you get to pick your shipping method because it doesn't say it's going Ground Advantage or UPS or whatever. You get to kind of pick whatever you want.
Yeah, it's up to you. That way you could go to Pirate Ship and you could ship it. You get to choose the method. But as you can see, it kind of has a few pros, a few cons. You could get caught up with shipping prices changing on you. You lose the ability to actually refund or not refund that shipping.
Yep.
But it does give you some advantages in search and in people buying, I would say. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of an advanced method. If you have a chance, I would recommend playing around with it, but you really have to stay up on your stuff. Don't just set this one and forget it.
Yep. We did when we did our movies and they did a media mail change. Yep. I did go in and increase each one of them. Not that we do have a lot of movies, but it's easy enough that I just went in and changed by dollar amount, changed them all. So
yeah, so that's the free shipping method. All right, so what actually sold for us next?
We've had this for a while. It's one of our very first Bath & Body Works that we picked up. We picked up a Rio Rumberry Signature Body Lotion, and it is new.
That's the bottle of lotion we picked up. We started picking up kind of some Bath & Body Works stuff because we keep seeing it with other people picking it up, and the prices surprised us almost every time. So we started grabbing a few of them, and that one looked like it comped out well, but boy, did it sit for a while.
It did.
And it sold for how much?
$19.99 plus shipping.
So still shocked by what they sell for. Just don't expect them to like jump off the shelves. They do sit around a little bit.
Some of them do. Some of them go really fast.
Yeah, some of them have. If you find some discontinued stuff that was popular, you could do really well on that stuff.
Always, for me with those, I always make sure they're new. Like you can open them up and you can tell if somebody has used them or not. And so I don't want somebody's used lotion. I wouldn't sell somebody's used lotion.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever bought a used anything with Bath & Body Works. We usually we stick to the new stuff that's still sealed if possible. So
yep.
All right, what do you got next?
The next thing was we went to, remember that storage unit garage sale that we went to here in town?
Yep.
Yeah, so we picked up my fancy Twirly Whirly dolls, and this was in there too. She is Cherry Mary Muffin Banana Seed doll, friend.
Banana seed?
Banana C.
Banana C.
Like with banana with a CY on the end. And they used to smell,
Kinda.
I think.
They didn't figure out the formula because strawberry shortcakes will still smell like strawberry in like 80 years.
Yep.
But she's got a little muffin on the front of her dress there. And she sold for how much?
$11.99 plus shipping.
There you go.
And we paid $1 for all of those dolls.
All right, so here's one.
We have not played with.
Well, it's become really popular lately. I see a lot of YouTube channels talking about this one lately, and when I first heard about it, I have to be honest, I was intrigued. I was like, ooh, that could be a winning strategy. And the shipping method is calculated shipping, as we talked about before, but you pass on your entire discount to the customer. So whatever eBay charges you for that package to ship that out is what you charge your customer. So it calculates your shipping just like normal calculated shipping would, and then it passes all of your eBay discount on to the end user.
Yep.
Now that sounds great.
It sounds great, and it's probably great for the customer, but it may not be great for you. Again, back to the very basics of selling on eBay, you need to make sure that you have the right dimensions, the right weight, because if you have the wrong weight, the wrong dimensions, you are going to eat it.
Yep. And more importantly, eBay charges their in fees on shipping as well. So you're going to pay the 12.9% or whatever it is on that shipping charge. So for example, if I was to send out a package and the shipping cost on that was $10 and the customer paid $10, that sounds like you'd break even, but eBay's going to charge you what, $12.90? No, I mean $1.90.
$11.90.
Right.
Something
They're
like
going
that.
to charge you $1.90 more than that $10 because they're going to charge fees on it. So you just lost $1.90 on that shipping. Not to mention the packing materials, the box, the tape, the shipping label. So you're actually putting yourself
Upside down.
well, you're spending money to ship the product. You're not even charging shipping at all. At least on the free shipping and the flat rate shipping, at least you're taking that shipping cost, including the fees, and rolling that into your cost or your product cost. With passing on your calculated discount, you're actually losing money on every single thing you sell. Well, you're not losing money.
You're losing money on shipping.
You're losing money on your profit margin for every single thing that sells. So you're taking that percentage or that $1.90 off your profit margin. So be careful with this one. I think it has its uses. I think it does give you a lower shipping rate, and your customers are happy with that for sure.
Yep. And I'm wondering if some people that do this option, if they, like if something weighs a pound, if they go up to 2 pounds.
It might be, but it kind of defeats the purpose a little bit of doing it in the first place. If you just left it uncalculated. I mean, they may be just fudging the weights or the sizes a little bit just so they protect themselves a little, which might be a great idea, might be a great method for this. And this one, I mean, once you set it up, you don't have to worry about the rates changing because it's calculated. So this is a safe way to go, but I would worry about passing on that whole thing if you're not fudging your boxes and your weights, which if you do that and you ever change your shipping rates on stuff or relist stuff with different shipping methods, just be real cautious and careful on this. So that's that one. I think it could be a good thing, but it also makes me a little nervous to pass on that discount because that discount is actually what helps you pay for your boxes and shipping, and you have to pay fees on it. So we're really cautious with that one.
Yep.
All right, what else sold?
So another item that I just listed is an NFL Tampa Bay Buccaneers snowman football. Oh, I put class.
Class. He's
Ornament.
actually like glass or epoxy. I think he's glass. So he's kind of a cool little ornament.
He came out of our storage unit as well. I don't know if I looked on him to see if he has something written on him though.
Just NFL.
No, I was
Buccaneers.
looking like on his.
But yeah, he's a pretty cool little ornament, and it's football season, so a new Buccaneers fan out there is going to be happy. Well, they might not be a new Buccaneers fan. Buccaneers is football, right? Yep.
Yes, it is. That's why it's on a football. Would you like to know how much he sold for?
Oh yeah, we should tell him that.
He sold for $8 plus shipping.
There you go.
Not a lot, but
For a tiny little ornament, we'll take it.
okay. The last thing we sold for this video came out of our pick-a-picker lot. We sold a vintage 2000 Bratz Doll World Tour Travel Zip-Up Carrying Case.
There's something in that?
It has their like
Inserts for the dolls?
yeah, that they hold the clothes and stuff.
Okay.
So
There you go. It's a Bratz suitcase, Bratz carrying case, in case you want to travel with your Bratz. That sold for how much?
$19.99 plus shipping.
And I believe we are in the clear, profitable on that
We
pick
are.
now. And we still have quite a bit of stuff left. So that ended up being a pretty decent deal for us. All right, last but not least on the shipping methods, and the one we're currently using now, right?
Yes, as of last weekend,
Yep.
last week sometime.
So we had this big discussion about doing the calculated and passing on your discount. We actually had this discussion on the Reseller Clickbait podcast recently with Ken, and it made us dive deeper. It made us get to looking into it and see if there was a way to do that safely, because it is intriguing to have calculated, not have to worry about changing rates, but still pass on discount and keep yourself safe from having to lose the money on the fees and your packing materials and stuff like that. Here's what we came up with.
We do calculated shipping minus a percentage of our, whatever you call it, our discount.
Yes, we do that. So we do custom calculated. That's you can set up in eBay a custom shipping, a custom calculated rate. So basically we're using calculated, but we are passing on a certain percentage of a discount of that shipping to our customer. So we use the eBay shipping calculator. We went out and checked shipping to 4 or 5 different places around the country to see what they are. And it actually shows you what our percentage discount is on priority and on ground advantage. eBay gets a different percentage discount on both types of shipping. So we looked at those and determined that we could actually give them calculated shipping minus 15%. And that would keep us enough left over, enough meat left on the bone to pay for the eBay fees and to pay for our packing materials and our boxes and things like that. And it's pretty tight. I mean, we're right on the line there. We win more than we lose in terms of that going probably 90-10.
Yes, and most of them that we have that we've lost money on
have been our mistake.
No, have been our mistake, but they're also like 10 cents.
A lot of them have been packages or things that we listed way early on and we just missed on the size or weight. She did.
No. No. Not even.
So that's kind of the one we are using.
Currently, we are still testing it, making sure that it's something at that rate that we're still okay.
We're a couple weeks into it, and basically what it is front showing to our customers, we're at the calculated rate minus 15%. So our shipping, if we're up against someone else doing calculated, we're 15% lower than they are, which is, I think, helping us on sales. We haven't been doing it long enough to tell, and we haven't set up any kind of a scientific test. So if we said it helped our sales, we would be guessing. Mm-hmm. But we're not losing money so far. It seems to be working well. And it's one we don't have to keep a terribly close eye on. No. So we could wait a few months and see how it did and get back to you. But so far, it's looking promising. And I think this would work much better for somebody centrally located. I think calculated minus 15% if you're shipping from Maine to Southern California is still crap.
Chancy.
Yep. You're still better. Well, it's not chancy. It's in your advantage. You're just not going to make any sales. You're still going to be really high. So I think flat rate is still a better option for those situations.
Yes.
You just have to have some knowledge to use that. You don't want to just go set that up on the fly and without any knowledge. So that's what we're doing right now. Hopefully there's enough information in this video to kind of help you decide which way would work best for you, or at least a couple of ways you'd like to try and play around with and see how they work.
Tell us how you do your shipping and how you do it, which method you use, and if you've had issues with it.
I don't care how you do it. My way's right.
No, we already had that discussion. Everybody does it their own way. It works good for certain people, doesn't work good for other people.
That's what I said. My way's right. For me.
Yes, for you. Not for everybody on eBay.
Now, hopefully something in here helps somebody out there trying to get into eBay at least understand the different shipping methods and help you get started. But we do have a lot of packing to do so that we can get out there and use these shipping methods today and get to the post office. So we're going to get out of here. We'll see you next time.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Here's kind of how we see it. How to ship on eBay seems like everybody's got an opinion.
You know what opinions are like.
Opinions are a lot like assholes, and we thought it was time you guys smelled what we were cooking. No, we can't do that.
Also out of that unit. Oh, look at what that did.
You hear that fan back there?
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay,
I
start
can't shut
over.
it off. Flat rate. So this means that you just pick a price.
Stop. Don't do do that part. Start from flat rate. Those are hard to cut out.
We do it. Shut up.
Some of the Barbie clothes.
Nope. And they used to smell.
So that's that's like a
They're kinda like-
Biden thing, sniffing a girl. It's just weird. So if for example, if I was to